Welcome to Yarns to Spin, the podcast where every story tells a song. Here you will find an eclectic collection of unusual stories, strange happenings, tall tales, folklore, and intriguing Americana. What is better than hearing a good story? Listening to the song that goes along with it. Yarns to Spin presents Truth Be Told, What Happened at Roswell. Mac Brazel was a cowboy, and like any good hired hand, his job was to often ride the range. New Mexico in 1947 was no longer the Wild West, but on any given day, Mac never knew what he might run across. He might spy a stray calf, maybe a broken section of fence, or even signs of cattle rustlers. But on this day, what Mac discovered would soon change his life forever and lead to one of the strangest stories ever told. The ranch he oversaw was in the high plains of New Mexico, a desolate desert area near the small town of Corona. It was a typical hot day in July, and as he rode along, his horse was suddenly startled. He saw a flash of light. What he saw was a ray of sunlight reflecting off something that should not have been there. To his disbelief, he had ridden across a debris field of strange silver metal. Dismounting his horse, he picked up a fragment. He later recalled it was light as a feather and easy to bend. To his surprise, though, it would always return to its original shape. Not knowing what else to do, he gathered up a few pieces and later drove to Corona, hoping that somebody there might be able to solve the mystery of what he had found. However, everyone that witnessed his discovery ended up with the same question. Mac, what in the world is that stuff? In the days to follow, he would soon learn that the bigger question was not, what in the world is that stuff? But where in the world did that stuff come from?
Well, Mac, he was a cowboy, a good hired hand. When he rode up on some meadow, scattered all across the land. Silver and strange, best take some to town, 'cause truth be told, he didn't know what he'd found. So he headed for Corona, down to Wade's watering hole. Hey Mac, what you got there? The crowd all wanted to know. He took a sip of whiskey and laid that metal on the bar and said, truth be told, I think this came from the start. Truth be told, something fell from the sky on a hot summer night around the 4th of July. The years have gone by and the case has grown cold. What happened at Roswell? Truth be told. The very next day was when the story broke. Flying saucer captured, the daily paper wrote. The G-men came to town, and the story changed real soon. It said, truth be told, it was just a weather balloon. Truth be told, something fell from the sky on a hot summer night around the 4th of July. Have gone by and the case has grown cold. What happened at Roswell? that's left today where a saucer once crashed. The old timers still say, oh Mac, he stopped talking, but before the day he died, he said, truth be told, I know the government lied. Truth be told, something fell from the sky on a hot summer night around the 4th of July. The years have gone by and the case has grown cold. What happened at Roswell? Truth be told.
This song only details the events occurring for the first few days after something fell from the sky. The timeline is as follows. Mac discovers the metal. A military officer, Jesse Marcel, recovers a few fragments. The Roswell newspaper prints the headline, Flying Saucer Captured. Government agents soon arrive, and the story changes to, It was just a weather balloon. So begins, undoubtedly, one of the most famous UFO stories in the world. It is a mystery of many twists and turns and a fascinating cast of characters. For a few decades afterwards, as the song indicates, the case grew cold. In the 80s, following the release of the book, The Roswell Incident, interest started to grow. Now there are hundreds of articles, books, documentaries, and movies. As one might guess, you could easily go down the rabbit hole with any of the following questions. Was it really a flying saucer? Were small alien bodies found in the wreckage? Did the military transport the wreckage and bodies to an undisclosed location? Did more than one saucer crash? Has the military back-engineered the technology? These are just a few of the questions that UFOologists have asked, but they all beg the question, what is the truth? Not just about Roswell, but about all of the other numerous UFO incidents around the world. Is our government, for whatever reasons, concealing what they really know? Many people say yes, and therein lies the rest of the story. Will we, the people, ever get the answers? Joseph Campbell, in his book, The Power of Myth, writes that every good story follows the same formula, called the hero's journey. In essence, the hero's journey begins with an individual confronting a conflict. A journey or quest then begins in search of resolution. A battle against opposing forces ensues. The denouement follows with the hero being victorious. Roswell is a great story, but as of yet, it has no ending. The truth that would complete the journey hasn't been forthcoming. There are many heroes in this quest, from the researchers to the writers to the whistleblowers, all the way down to just everyday people, all asking to be told the truth. So with that being said, the song, Truth Be Told, What Happened at Roswell, is just one more small effort to try and complete our hero's journey. We are still waiting. Will the truth be told?